dropping the professional mask because you trust them.
Exactly. It builds an immediate interpersonal connection that separates a true friend from a mere colleague. It allows for a momentary release of the pressure required to maintain the professional facade.
And that need to balance personal desires with professional politeness is incredibly apparent when it comes to navigating lunch.
Oh, lunch is a minefield,
It is. The transcript contrasts the open ended, where should we go for lunch, with the specific suggestion, how about we get some burgers today?
and the phrase, how about, is a linguistic superpower in an office setting.
It really is. It creates the illusion of a question while delivering a directive.
Right, because if you walk up to a coworker and say, we are getting burgers today,
You sound like a dictator.
exactly. And if you say, I want burgers, you sound selfish.
But how about we get some burgers? Allows you to pitch your exact preference while cloaking it in the language of a collaborative, democratic suggestion.
You secure your preference without violating the egalitarian vibe of the office.
It's genius. English speakers place immense value on this mixture of clarity and deference, particularly when making requests that require someone else's labor.
We see the exact same architectural framing when asking a coworker for assistance. The transcript highlights the phrase, could you help me with this report when you have a minute?
Adding, when you have a minute, is masterful.
It respects the coworker's autonomy. You're establishing that your need is valid and requires attention, but you are simultaneously validating their current workload.
Right, it provides a built-in escape hatch.
Exactly. The acceptable response doesn't have to be an immediate drop everything and help. They can confidently reply, I'm a bit busy right now, but I can help you after 3.0.
So they defer the task without appearing uncooperative because you preemptively granted them permission to manage their own schedule.
It is a highly sophisticated, perfectly choreographed negotiation.
But then, when the workday concludes, that careful choreography relaxes, doesn't it?
It does. The departure scripts bookend the formality we saw in the morning.
For the general team, you offer the classic, professional, have a good evening, everyone.
But for that close work friend, the one you offered the vulnerability token to earlier, you shift to casual slang. You say, catch you later.
Catch you later. The professional mask comes off, and the language transitions away from task-oriented negotiation towards socially oriented relaxation.
Right. And then arriving home presents its own distinct set of social currents.
Because the pressures of the public sphere in the office are gone, but you still have to navigate shared living spaces and align energy levels with the people you live with.
And this usually begins with the negotiation of dinner.
Always the dinner negotiation. The dialogue offers two paths here. The first is a collaborative inquiry, like, do you want to cook tonight or should we order pizza?
And the second is a direct proposal based on available resources. We have some chicken and vegetables, we can make a stir fry.
And the language is entirely cooperative. Should we? We can make.
It is about assessing the household's collective bandwidth. If the commute was grueling and everyone is exhausted, the language facilitates a quick pivot to the easiest option.
Once the evening settles, the conversation turns toward decompression and small talk. When discussing current activities, the transcript points out a really subtle variation.
Oh, yes. Instead of stating, I'm reading a fantastic book right now, a speaker might say, I'm reading a fantastic book at the moment.
At the moment, it provides a softer cadence, right?
It does. It means the exact same thing as right now, but it flows more gently in a relaxed conversation, adding a native-sounding flourish that prevents repetitive phrasing.
Okay, so the ultimate test ground for this relaxed small talk revolves around two universal topics, the weekend and the weather.
Always the weekend and the weather.
On a Thursday or Friday evening, the standard inquiry is, do you have any plans for the weekend? If a person is simply staying home, the response is a dismissive, not much, just relaxing.
But for locked-in plans, the transcript emphasizes a very specific structure. I am going to the beach.
This introduces the grammar of certainty, doesn't it?
It does. English utilizes auxiliary verbs to signal a speaker's confidence in future events. The phrase, I am going to, acts as a structural signal to the listener.
It indicates that the decision is finalized, the logistical steps have been taken, and the plan is in motion.
Exactly. It stands in stark contrast to the hesitant, I might go to the beach, or the conceptual, I was thinking about the beach.
So, using going to is the verbal equivalent of writing an event in ink rather than pencil on a calendar. It establishes a firm reality.
That's a perfect analogy.
Now, on the opposite end of the certainty spectrum, we have the weather.
Yes. The weather is the ultimate unpredictable variable, which makes it the single best tool for breaking the ice with a stranger or an acquaintance.
To me, weather talk is often mocked as superficial, but it really functions as a highly sophisticated neutral playing field.
It establishes baseline empathy without requiring any personal disclosure.
Right. Politics, sports, pop culture, those subjects carry heavy cultural baggage and can instantly polarize a conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
But the weather is a shared, universal experience that no one has any control over. It is happening to everyone simultaneously.
So when a speaker looks at an acquaintance and says, beautiful weather today, isn't it? They are extending an invitation to connect in a totally safe environment.
And the structure of that invitation is brilliant. It utilizes a tag question.
Right. The speaker makes a definitive statement, beautiful weather today, and then attaches a tiny, nearly rhetorical question to the end, isn't it?
So the conversational heavy lifting is already done. The speaker serves the interaction up on a silver platter, making it incredibly easy for the other person to simply agree.
It lowers the barrier to entry for human connection.
The other person just has to say, yes, it's lovely, or absolutely, it's gorgeous today, and an instant positive consensus is formed out of thin air.
And it works exactly the same way when the weather is miserable. The transcript references the classic idiom, raining cats and dogs.
Yeah, speaker might complain, it's freezing today, or I hate this rain.
It relies on the same social mechanic as complaining about traffic on the bus. It allows people to bond over a shared mild adversity.
It creates solidarity.
Exactly, solidarity.
The overarching takeaway for you listening to this deep dive is that true communication relies on an adaptable toolkit.
Sounding natural isn't about rigid adherence to grammar rules. It is about reading the environment.
Right. It is knowing that injecting the word please can save a high-speed coffee order from sounding abrasive.
Or understanding when to deploy the casual catch you later versus the formal good evening.
And recognizing that specific communication during a delay like texting your exact ETA transfers power back to a frustrated coworker.
We navigate a dozen different social dialects every single day. The fluency comes from recognizing which dialect the moment requires.
So we challenge you to become an active observer in your own life today. Pay attention to how your choice of words, your pacing, and the amount of detail you provide shift as you move from your kitchen to your commute into your office and finally back home. You are constantly surfing these hidden social currents.
It's a fun experiment to try.
It really is. And as we wrap up, I want to isolate one fascinating grammatical quirk the transcript mentioned regarding evening small talk.
Oh, the TV shows.
Yes, when someone asks what a television show or a book is about, the standard response flips into the simple present tense. It's a story about a family living in London. The main character discovers a secret.
Right, we don't use the past tense.
Even if the events of the TV episode concluded an hour ago, or the book was written 300 years ago, we instinctively describe the plot as if it is unfolding right in front of us.
It's true.
Why do we do that? Well, perhaps it is because human beings possess a deep subconscious understanding that stories operate differently than our daily commutes or our past weekend plans. Stories are perpetually alive, repeating and unfolding in the present moment every single time we share them.